Game started.
Ooh, we got a game. E. Smith, 1364 USA. Okay, so let's see. I was just saying, time for a Sicilian again. This is the Knight C3 Sicilian, and I think the book move is Knight C6 here. The idea, yeah, if he goes into the Grand Prix attack, you can slow it down by playing G6 and E6, and so a move like D6 would have been a waste in that case. On the other hand, if he plays his bishop B5, he can try and double your pawns, and that is something White does. You could move the queen out to try and prevent that. The way I play it, I just check to see if he's going to play that exchange right away. If he doesn't, then I'm going to move my knight to E7, take care of it, and take back with the knight. But I don't mind the doubled pawns here. I'm going to get an extra pawn in the center. I'll just go ahead and put it there right away. So we've been moving too fast, really. It's a danger, a perpetual danger in Blitz. I've got this slow time control so I can stop and think. And I rarely, sometimes I do use it, but sometimes it seems like I'm not using it in the most effective way. So what am I trying to do here? I put the brakes on F5 for the moment, although, you know, White always has the idea of playing F5 as a pawn sacrifice, so something to watch out for. I don't want to take here. I'd rather he took my pawn so I can undouble. I could go forward with my C pawn here and try and attack and undermine his D6 square. But why don't I try developing my bishop first on this same diagonal. So this guy is kind of pinned. So now if I push, he takes, I take, he takes, I take, and leaves us with a pretty symmetrical pawn structure. It's probably an improvement for me, and it opens up a few lines. I have the two bishops. Open lines are good for me. I suppose he could try taking in a different order. He could take with the D pawn first. I don't think that would matter a whole lot. He could push ahead here. That's what he could do. Yep, he can do that. So now I guess I would try to undermine. I think I can push ahead immediately. So if he takes, I'm going to win it back with the queen or the rook or something. I'm not worried about losing a pawn. But the other thing he could do is push ahead again. Then I could exchange off. And it looks like I have an extra piece on that square. So let's just do this. And I have this sort of latent threat. The bishop is looking at the rook through this pawn. If the knight ever moves, I can push ahead and get a tempo on that rook. And maybe a double attack. So might be nice to discourage. Yeah, I thought he couldn't do that. You see, his knight is kind of pinned there. I could take advantage of that pin immediately by bringing my queen out, but he could defend it with the bishop. So let's just take the pawn first. He's going to block in my bishop. So he sacks a pawn to block in my bishop. Interesting way to play. And then now, if I keep pushing ahead and try and chase this knight around, where the knight has a good square here, and I can gain a tempo on the rook, but there's no double attack there, so I'm not sure if that's the best thing to do here. Maybe it's best to get this knight to a good square. I can always push that pawn ahead later if it comes under attack. And if the move G4 is played, G2 to G4, attacking my knight, I can move my knight over here to D4. Might go to D4 anyway. It looks like a good square for it. So now I do have the idea of a double attack. So I push the pawn, this knight moves, I push this pawn, I'm hitting the bishop and I'm also hitting his rook. And seems like he's going to have to give something up. Where the knight goes to one of these squares and it's threatening to come here, which is a bit annoying. But I'm going to grab the material. You can grab that pawn too. But I still play bishop takes rook.
White resigns.
Oh, that was a quick game. Okay, well, that's one lesson, is to stay sharp, look for tactics. And so I'm going to save this, and I'm going to do a quick review with the computer and with the opening book. And I'll post that as another video. So, postmortem video, and I'll see you then. Bye.